Ladies and gentlemen, Two Dudes Talk Music in conjunction with E. Brown Industries and Big Jerry Burger brings to you everybody's new favourite game show, Get in the Bin. Now, let's go to our host, Reverend Raph and the beer buddy, Kyle. Welcome back to the Two Dudes Talk Music YouTube channel, everybody. I am the Reverend Raph. This is the beer buddy, Kyle, and we are once again joined by Tyler and Dalton from Dark Orion as part of our Metal to the Max coverage. If you don't know what Metal to the Max is, all the links are down in the thing, but you got to be quick because
it's
actually,
happening.
I've stuffed that one up because this is going to go out on the Sunday. This is going to go out on the Sunday. So I'm sorry if you unless you're in Broken Hill and you're seeing this. Like, you missed it. Sorry. You missed it. But
by the
time you're watching, by the time you are watching it, these guys will have played an absolutely killer set at Metal to the Max, and there will be a ton of coverage post Metal to the Max coming to the channel as well about our trip out there and all the people we met and all the amazing stuff that's happened at the event. So keep your eyes peeled on the channel for that, because all that's going to be coming soon. There'll be a couple of weeks until it all comes out because we're going to need a bit of time to recover, I think. And we're going to have some other stuff filling in while we're doing that. But that's not why you're here. You guys are here for everybody's favorite game show, Get in the Bin. Now, this is where we ask our esteemed guests if they had phenomenal cosmic powers and could snap their fingers to eliminate things from the music business or change things about the music business, what would they be and why? We will grab 3 things from each of you, gentlemen. I'm not sure whoever wants to go first. What was the first thing you would change about the music business and why?
You go first. You're smarter than me.
First thing I want to get rid of about the music business, about the current music business, is short TikTok kind of sound bites to sell songs. And this thing I can't stand. You can't have a song that's more than 3 minutes long, and it's got to have a hook that's 20 seconds, 30 seconds. It's in this. And I was driving home from Adelaide with my wife yesterday, and I'm a bit of a theatre kid, and I saw this thing on Spotify, and it was like a metal cover of I can't remember which one it was. I thought, I want to listen to that, and I put it on. This song literally went for 35 seconds. I've never been so disappointed in my life. Where is the rest of the song? Someone put it out just for a soundbite. I want that gone.
That's disappointing.
Now I know how my wife feels.
But no, to your point, like I have seen people talking about, this is, if you're a musician that's trying to get, popular using TikTok, they're like, don't try and write whole songs and then hope that you get good sound bites for it. They're like, write a 20 to 30 second hook. Just, that's all you've written. And then use that over and over again in your songs. And then whichever ones do really well, then you write the rest of the song. And I'm like, that is such an ass backwards way of approaching music that it hurts my brain. And I know that I'm an old man screaming at the clouds here, right? Like, I'm old man yelling at cloud because it's like, I don't want to say it's not the way it's supposed to be because there's no right way to do it. But at the same time, that to me is not making music. That is making content, and the music is secondary.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's where I think I draw a kind of big issue with it. I have no problem if you're making music and then taking certain parts of that to create content to promote that music and try and grow that way. Fine. That's great. That's you're putting that work in. That's a smart marketing strategy. That's how you do it. If you're creating the content first, then going, okay, this did well, so I'm going to extrapolate this into a whole song. That, I feel, is just such a cynical approach to it. And that's, you're being social media person first, musician second.
Yeah.
And that's where I kind of take, and if you want to be a social media person, be a fucking social media person. I could care less. But don't, like, it just, the people go, oh, they're such a talent, they're such a great musician, they're such a blah 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 blah. It's like, mate, I could show you, I could like hit the fucking scroll wheel on my mouse down my Facebook friends list and show you 10 more talented musicians than that. Wherever it lands on the list.
Mm. But did they get 35,000 hits in like 24 hours?
So I 1,000% agree with that sentiment. It's just like, it's damaging the future of the music business as well, which is the other issue.
100%. 100%. Who's going next? Dalton?
Yeah, actually, it's funny because you laughed before. I always write down some ideas about things prior, and TikTok was my number one thing.
Yeah,
and I got TikTok. I can hear it. My wife's phone on the couch. I can hear those stupid snippets. Give the music, and it's like it's not made people would enjoy it. It's made to stick in your head and repeat. But I'll do something different. Everyone's sudden obsession with country music.
Yeah, I mean, look, I go off the whole thing of country music has always been the most popular music in the world. Otherwise, it wouldn't have its own fucking music awards.
Yeah.
Like my grandpa had won Tamworth a few times.
Oh, snap!
Country singer-songwriter, and I've been listening to country since I was tiny.
Yeah.
And Luke Combs, I'm not trying to give like anyone shit, any bands or artists shit, but Luke Combs and all these new guys, because there's such obsession with everyone loves country western now.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though.
That's the younger generation, though. It's not like this. It was like me and Grandpa and a bunch of old dudes listening to country, and now it's like all these young guys.
Here's my question, though. What type of country is it? Is it country music, or is it that fucking that fucking that country music where it's dudes in flannel shirts and fucking lifted trucks that have never never fucking driven a tractor in their fucking life.
With very clean boots. Making songs for people who do jobs that they would in their life.
I ain't never picked up a shovel in my life, but I'm going to sing all about it.
And you know what it is? It's in the wake of the September 11 attacks, US country music shifted. Mm-hmm. It shifted. It shifted away from being, outlaw country, like anti-establishment, blah blah blah, to being bootlicking patriotism for the most part.
Coulter Wall, all those outlaw country dudes are fucking like their music is great. Yes. It has like you listen to only Coulter Wall as an example because his music is phenomenal. But listen to his lyrics; he's telling a story. Listen to Luke Combs as an example. Not saying he's a bad musician by any chance, but it's about she broke my heart and I drank beer and it's just there's no loss, there's no love, there's no.
I don't know that that's unique to country music. I think you can look at metal as well, and you can look at a few artists that are got a bit of a cynical approach to it. There's some of the elements of metal are there. There's screams, there's detuned guitars, but when you get right down to it, it's pop music to sell arena seats.
Yeah.
And I'm going to name them because I'm going to upset people that like them, and I'm people that like them. But
but let's
every genre's got artists.
If it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's probably a fucking duck.
But that's, I think, and obviously, this is this is your guys' lists. We're simply discussing the points. We don't have to agree on them.
No.
We don't have to agree on. This is your guys' lists. But you are right. Like there is, there's people that use elements of rap and hip hop in pop music to, because the person making the pop music is a safe person and they put a little bit of rap in there because, it's fun and whatever, but they don't know or appreciate the history and where it's come from. They're just like, oh, it's a cool style. And that's not to say I'm any authority on it before anyone decides they want to come for me or anything like that. Like
Go for him.
You know, there's a lot about it that I don't know, and there's a lot about the history of it and that I don't know and appreciate in the same way as someone that has lived through it. But you know, there's a lot of people taking, you know, rock and metal elements or rap elements or, you know, whatever, and because they're seen as a bit edgy and dangerous, and putting them into otherwise safe, quote unquote, music to try and find a more edgy presentation.
But I do understand what you're saying, like, and not to take anything. Look, you know, Beyonce, #1 recording artist in the world, blah 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 blah. But I can understand why people may have been a little bit upset, considering her musical history to come exploding onto the country scene, and with her first single, it's like one of the first lines of the song. It's like, that ain't country, this ain't that ain't Texas. It's like, dude, you just like, no.
Like, I mean, look, I'm all for finding exploring new artistic like horizons. You know,
yeah,
like
look, I was all for that. It's a great look. It's a cool song. It's a catchy tune. But maybe we shouldn't maybe start telling people what things aren't and are. Like, do you know what I mean? I can understand how people may have been a bit offside with a couple of dedicated fans.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, we keep going on tangents here, and it's a whole thing. But anyway, so that was cool. All right, Tyler, what's your number 2?
We love it. Tangents are the way we roll.
Yes.
My number 2, I would get rid of an obsession and an emphasis on old tunes, classic music. And I think it's really unique to rock and metal. And as a genre, they kind of, we cannibalize ourselves. You put on a rock radio station, you hear songs that were great 30 years ago. And it's so hard for anything new to break through. And I don't know that that's true of other genres and that sort of thing. I don't know, you put on a, you know, hip hop radio station or whatever, they're still talking about albums that came out 30 years ago. They're talking about what's new, what's now. And if you hear anything new, you hear it by comparison to things that happened forever ago, or it's not as good as things that happened forever ago, or it's not like it used to be. And that, I don't know how it would happen, but I'd love to remove that from the mentality of heavy music.
Live in the now, man.
Are you saying that people comparing older bands with newer bands and saying they're similar?
Oh no, more so. I think he's more talking about, like, you know how some people go on, oh, look at the state of the music industry. You know, it's nothing like it was back then. You look at all these great bands back then, but look at the shit we got coming out now. It's like, no, it's better. Like, it is much better. The production value's better. The writing quality's better. I think are probably a lot better.
I don't know if it's still the case. I know that it used to be a requirement for like radio stations to play a certain percentage of new music, and that a certain percentage of that had to be new Australian music. Or it was like they had to have a percentage of Australian music and a certain percentage of that had to be new Australian music or something like that. But there was percentage requirements. With that said, it ended up being a fairly small percentage. And obviously every radio station wanted to attract the most listeners. So it would all become this, like, everyone's playing the same stuff, the broadest appeal possible. You know, and as we've talked about, like, metal's a very niche genre, so it gets a bit tricky. But I guess this is where, you know, one of the benefits of the double-edged sword that is streaming platforms comes into play, because it does allow for discoverability of new music away from, you know, like you can go, hey, I want to hear new music that you think I'm gonna, you know, that I've not heard before. So it'll go, all right, well, this is what you've listened to, this is what you like, so we're going to serve you this new stuff based off of that. Which, you know, the fact that we can do that is pretty awesome.
I'm thankful for that, but just pay the fucking artists accordingly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but no, that's a very valid one. That's very valid.
That's a really
very
good one.
valid. Dalton, what's your next one?
My next one is basically, like, I try not to put any bands down as much as I try to. I'm a firm believer is there is no such thing as bad music. Some is just better than others. Or we have all different tastes. Like beer, it's like beer. There's no such thing as bad beer. It's just some that's better than others.
You're one of my people, my friend. You're one of my people.
And there's a band I've been listening to for a while. They're called Greta Van Fleet. I'm pretty sure you heard them before. And they are like a revitalized 70s, 80s, that classic, that rock.
Mm-hmm.
And on any of their social media posts, it's people shit-canning them for saying they sound like Led Zeppelin. Like it's like sort of like I'm peeing off the back of Tyler. Like Greta Van Fleet, that great, cool. They dress up like in the 70s, 80s, sort of that cool era of classic rock. And then, but on all of their social medias, their Instagram, their Facebooks, the comments are just full of you guys sound like Led Zeppelin, blah 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 blah. Like,
so you know what?
If you're going to steal from the best.
They're doing better than you anyway. So shut up.
I think it, like it's just like, you know, like Raph used to play in a band. Used to be like, oh, they sound like it just sounds like Nirvana. It's like, well, go see him.
Yeah.
Go to a Nirvana concert then. This is the next best thing you're going to get. Now shut the fuck up.
New band, a newish band called I think it's pronounced Chaosium.
Yeah.
And they sound similar to Korn, same thing. Oh, you guys sound like a Korn ripoff, blah blah blah. It's like, but it's very, very hard to not sound like someone else when there are so many.
Is there any? I'm not going to complain about another Korn band. That just adds another kernel.
Yeah,
you bastard!
Another band called Tetrarch.
Yep.
Everyone says it's like Slipknot. It's like, you know, it's probably what they listened to when they were kids.
Who the fuck is saying that Tetrarch sounds like Slipknot? What the fuck?
People in the comments, man. I'm a real comment reader.
Maybe it's I don't know. No Tetrarch song I have ever heard. Slipknot wish they could play like Tetrarch.
Tetrarch are amazing.
Like, and that's not. Look, sorry, I'm not trying to hate on Slipknot by saying that. I promise I'm not. But who the fuck? Okay. Nah. What the fuck?
Look, but this is where, like, the internet. This is where, like, people just cannot digest shit the way they used to. We talk about it on here all the fucking time. An album will come out, and within a 12-hour period, people are shitting all over that thing like it's gone out of fashion. That never used to happen back in the day, unless you were a respected reviewer, and you had that opportunity to have it early. You used to have to simmer on your stuff and justify your purchase. The internet has given too many of you people that probably shouldn't have a voice.
Yeah,
it's shit because there's like people have put their heart, their soul, their effort into making music. Just people to go, oh shit. It's like, no, it's not shit.
I mean, look,
we've pulled videos.
The one thing I'll say is, I have seen bands. I mean, you know, you're talking about bands that have a certain comparison to you know, that 70s, that classic kind of 70s, early 80s period of rock, right? I'm not going to name the name, okay, because they're an Australian band, and depending on what, you know, level they might see it, and I don't want to name any names because I don't want to put them on blast specifically. But there is an Aussie band that has a very classic sort of rock metal kind of thing from that period, and they are not very self-aware about it. Like, they have this mentality, or at least they had at the time when they kind of really blew up initially, they had this mentality that they were like super original and avant-garde and boundary pushing. And I'm like, you're literally just fucking ripped off Black Sabbath and Uriah Heep. Yeah. Like, and when I say that, I don't mean the sound, I mean literal riffs.
Oh, okay.
Taken from songs by those bands. And you've done like, you know, you've put a slightly stuttering timing on it, or you've just put a swing on the riff instead of playing it straight.
But even trying to create, not trying to defend them at all, but even trying to create original riff is fucking hard too.
I get that. I get it.
Like before, like Killswitch Engage, man, like probably my favorite metalcore band out there. And like, if I listen to a bit of them, I try and run a metalcore riff. It's like, everything I write sounds like Killswitch Engage.
Yeah, but there's that one metalcore riff that every band uses. So
Yeah.
you know, like it's
We've used it twice.
yeah.
Hey.
But my point is like, if you can acknowledge it at least, that's one thing. You know what I mean? Like, for people to be, and you know, if you want to be like, oh, okay, like I've not heard of that particular band that you're saying, but maybe it was on the radio somewhere and it kind of embedded in my thing and it's swirled around and it's come out, whatever. We're talking like the fucking Paranoid riff, the main riff from Paranoid. How are you going to rip that off and not realize you've ripped it off? At least when someone points it out, you can't be like, no, that's not if someone points it out, it's, I don't know. Anyway, I get, I don't want to, if I keep going, I'm going to name the name and I don't want to do that. So.
Don't.
Tyler, what's your third and final one?
All right. I'm going to touch on something that you guys touched on as well. And I think my third, not so much complaining about things I want to drag out of the industry as I'm just complaining about people who are in the scene at this point. Mm-hmm. But coming at music from a place of negativity. And, you know, you touched on that, you know, everyone, you'd have to have some clout, be a real reviewer before you started immediately talking about, oh, this album's garbage, this album's terrible. And I've just been trying to find, I just pulled it up, there's this meme that I saw a while ago, and it's you know, stop using anti-metalhead language. And it's like a translation thing. It's like, instead of I dislike this band, that band sucks. Instead of this band is okay, that band sucks. Instead of, oh, I like this band, that band sucks. Instead of, this is my favorite band of all time, the greatest thing I've ever heard, the early stuff's kind of okay. The idea that you can't be impressed by and be enthused by music, like, it's all great. The bar for it to be great is so low. It's all so good.
Man, I could not agree more. If I'm going to conversate with someone and I'm going to start spitting off new bands, and they're like, no, I haven't listened to anything since like past 2010, and it's just like, what? Why? Why? What happened? Who hurt you? Who hurt you?
I mean, this goes back to, again, like we kind of mentioned it in the podcast, right? Like the difference between like a musician and a layperson who listens to music, right? Like I feel like there's this whole thing that, you know, your music taste kind of solidifies when you're in your early to mid 30s and you tend not to listen to much new stuff after that. Now that is blatantly untrue for musicians. Musicians, almost every musician I know is very open to you know, a lot of new stuff, and they're constantly searching for something new because you never know where inspiration is going to come from. I feel that's more true for for you know, music fans that don't play music, but you know, you're right. Like, but I get, you know, where you're coming from, what you're saying. Absolutely, like people are so quick to not. To want to, you know, stick with this fucking image of like, oh, I'm this, you know, I'm so old school, like I'm fucking hard as nails, like, oh, check out my battle vest, like I've got, you know, I only want to listen to fucking Slayer, like I'm so fucking hardcore, blah, blah, blah. It's like, find some fucking joy in the world.
Yeah, that's it. Find some joy in it. Like,
why are you listening to it if you're not getting joy out of it?
Yeah. And why are you talking about it? Don't talk to me about music that sucks. Just let it suck. Talk to me about music that rules.
And yeah, as man. Kyle said, look, Kyle and I have done a couple of reaction videos where we ultimately decided not to release them because we savaged these fucking songs.
Yeah,
because in the moment,
Dark Orion one's not out yet.
Because it's like, it's the whole point is like these reactions are, you know, when we do them, we go in as blind as we can because we don't want to have anything tainting our immediate response and reaction and analysis of it. You know what, you know, and there's been some songs that we've done and we're like, you know, not by like unknown bands that we don't fucking aren't familiar with and they're just not to our taste. We're talking songs by bands that we have fucking loved for decades. And then they release something new and it's just dreck. It's just such a fucking such a lower standard compared to what they've done. Not in their old shit was better sense.
And then had the
that's Lulu, guys. That's Bottega and Lulu.
And
Yeah.
like,
So basic.
leave Load Reload alone. They're fucking great. Even St. Angel's good, but pick on Lulu.
like,
It's awful.
but that's it. And ultimately, we went, you know what? No, this is. We decided not to release them, and now if we get one that we're feeling that way about, we just fucking stop recording it.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to have that negativity about music.
And then secondly, who the fuck are we?
And, you know, ultimately, they're still out there putting that music out there, making it their career, doing this stuff, and we're sitting in our spare bedrooms talking about it. You know what I mean? Like, and that's not to say we don't give honest critiques of things, because we do. If we dislike a certain thing about something that we're reacting to, we're not afraid to say that. But like, if we react to something and we're just like, we realize that we are just not vibing with it on any level, we just put it aside.
Yeah.
And don't fucking worry about it, because
it's not for us. It's for someone else.
That
energy it's not for me. It's not for me, or saying it's shit. Like Tyler said before about the whole, like instead of saying it's shit, say, "Oh, it's not for me."
Yeah,
exactly. And that's what we're trying to practice that more, because,
and even so much so that we don't want to bring the video out and say that wasn't for me, because that's not an argument we need to have with people. I don't need to justify my reasoning as to why that didn't vibe with me. Like, it's not a like, okay, I didn't like it. That should be the end of that should be the end of the conversation.
Yeah. No one needs to see us going, that was okay. And that be the extent of the discussion.
That's not an exciting video. That's not an exciting video for anyone.
And but all right, cool. And Dalton, what's your last one there, mate?
Mate, I think Tyler touched on it at the start, and it was actually the first thing I'd written down was the TikTok shorts. I don't think I said it before, but Tyler started with it. I had it written down as a thing.
Yeah.
Like I said, I haven't got TikTok. My wife's got it, and with those small snippets of music, and it's like it's not like I said. It's not made to be a whole song. It's made to be a 30-second snippet, but it's like, but why would you make a music a track for 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's silly. It's just a waste of. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of our time. It's a waste of a consumer's time when you hear a fat 30 seconds and you go, "I want to fucking learn about the rest of this song," and you got nothing. Like, it's. You know what? That's so anticlimactic.
So I'm still in Tyler's one, because I actually had it on the same.
No, you know what's really I'm gonna say something that's really gonna piss you off now. Do you want to know what the number one music discoverability app is at the moment? It's TikTok.
Yeah.
More people, the overwhelming majority of people that are discovering new music in 2024 are discovering it via TikTok.
It's like people slamming it. I actually remember that Disrespectful Surrounding. It's like, that was cool. Like, I was listening to that back in like 2004.
Yeah, and hey, look,
it's not quite that long ago, but you know,
and you know, so look, as I said when we were talking about it earlier, I guess like my thing on it is, look, if you make music and you take parts of that music to make TikTok videos to promote your music, that's great. Like, cool.
Yeah,
that is the way it is meant to be used.
You're utilizing a platform.
Yeah, no,
you're being great about it. You're doing the thing, but it's the issue I think that we all kind of are having. I feel is when when they're making it a 30-second song or a 30-second thing is all they've made specifically for the TikTok platform for that short form content.
You said it's funny that you actually said that. Number one, and you said it. What is it? It's the number one music discoverability.
Number one music discoverability.
If you're only writing 30 seconds tracks, guess what? No one's got nothing to fucking discover.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, I've heard some of these 30-second snippets, and they sound great. So these artists could have
so much more.
But
much more.
But that process of, well, we wrote the 30 seconds and it's, it's going off, everyone loves it, we're going to release the rest of the track. You can't write a song by completing a segment of it and then tacking more on when people like it. Like
and that's the problem. Like a lot of the stuff that's done that way.
You can tell what's been tacked on.
Yes, exactly. A lot of the stuff that's done that way, the rest of the song is boring as fuck.
Yep.
Yeah. And Dalton said that that Day to Remember song, like that had a moment on TikTok. That, that had a viral moment. That was huge. But that song came out 20 years ago. That was a complete song before it had a viral moment.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
And I had
that's what it's meant to be used for.
Listen to that track in high school 20 years ago. And people give me shit for it because I was an emo. And now you don't listen to it.
Hey,
yeah, now it's cool again.
I'm all for more people embracing the genre. I think that
it is a little bit. Look,
it's a little bit of a kick in the teeth. But ultimately, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy?
Yeah, I want to be happy.
So that's what I think it comes down to for me. Like, don't get me wrong, I feel that instinct in my soul when people that would, when I see the type of people that would shit on me in school for liking metal, and then they're suddenly embracing metal because it's popular or whatever. I'm like, well, it doesn't even have to be metal. It can be any subculture shit. There's my immediate instinct is fuck you. How fucking dare you?
but now we're nearly 40. So now
I take a breath and I go, I can grow and change. I can like things I used to not like or understand. So other people can too.
Yeah.
And
it's a very bitter pill to swallow, but you're right.
It is. And don't get me wrong, I would love to let the fucking anger out on those. But ultimately, do I want to be right or do I want to be happy?
Yeah.
And I think long term, I am more happy when the previously niche things that I enjoyed are getting less niche and more broadly accepted and understood, so that someone else, some other young kid that's going through high school, maybe doesn't have to go through the same shit that I went through.
Facts.
And look, with that, we'll wrap this one up. Thank you so much, gentlemen. We really, really appreciate you guys going through that with us. That was Get in the Bin. We, as I said, are going to be coming along the channel with a whole load of Metal to the Max content over the next the rest of the year, really. It's probably going to be coming out over that, so stay tuned on that one. If you had a great time with us today, please consider hitting that like and subscribe buttons. If you didn't, downvote the shit out of it. That's what the buttons are there for. Thank you once again to Tyler and Dalton. We appreciate you guys so much. I have been Reverend Raph. He is the beer buddy Kyle. You guys have been amazing, and we'll see you all next time. Peace out.
Peace.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for watching today's video. We really hope you had a good time with us. If you did, consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons down there and ring that bell so you get notified of all the videos we've got coming out. And we do also have a Patreon. If you're interested, you can head on over there. You can get all the videos early and ad-free. So, a little bit of a benefit. It's only a couple of bucks a month. But if not, thank you very much for watching anyway, and we'll catch you guys next time.